Do you have difficulty with math? Worry no more, because I have a solution for you. Let's have math classes with Mamshi. See you in class! Welcome to our class in General Mathematics Week 4B. Our topic is about the inverse of one-to-one function. Our objective is, at the end of this discussion, the students will be able to determine the inverse of a one-to-one function. So let's have this definition. Let f of x be a one-to-one function with a domain A and range B, and also g of x which has domain B and range A. Then we can say that g of x is the inverse of our f of x. And an inverse is usually denoted by this symbol. That's f raised to negative 1, but don't misunderstand it as the exponent, but it is a symbol for the inverse. This means that f inverse of x equals g of x. And the g of x is the second function that we get after interchanging the domain and the range. So if we are going to find the inverse of the function, we have to change the domain into the range of the other function, and the range will be the domain of the second function. So let's continue. Note that the function has an inverse if and only if it is a one-to-one function. So, how to find the inverse of a function? So, we have here the steps. First is write the function in the form y equals f of x. So, we have here an example. So, instead of writing this as f of x equals x plus 5, we can write this as y equals x plus 5. You have to change f of x into y. Then interchange the x and y. So you have to interchange. Your y will become x equals your x will become y plus 5. All you have to do is change y into x and change x into y. All you are doing is interchanging the values of x and y. And next is you have to solve for y in terms of x. So in order to solve for the value of y, we can transfer 5 on the left side of our equation. So we'll have x minus 5 equals y. So we are now having x minus 5 in terms of y. And instead of y, we have to write f inverse of x. So let's try. Instead of y, we have f inverse of x equals x minus 5. This is now the inverse of the given function f of x equals x plus 5. Let's have another example. F of x equals 3x minus 5. Step 1 is to write f of x y instead of f of x and copy the given function. Then interchange x and y. So it will become x equals 3y minus 5. Then you have to solve for y in terms of x. So we have x plus 5 equals 3y. So your negative 5 will be transferred here on the left side, and so it will become positive 5. And since we have 3 as coefficient of y, we need to divide both sides by 3. And so, if we cancel this, we get y equals x plus 5 all over 3. So, the inverse of the function is x plus 5 all over 3. So I think it's just easy for you to understand this. Let's continue with example number 3. Again, we have to write this function into y equals x minus 8. Then interchange your x and y. So this will become x equals y minus 8. And so you have to transfer 8 on the left side because we have to make this equation to solve the value in terms of y. So y equals x plus 8. And so f inverse of x is equal to x plus 8. Okay, so I think there's a technique there. If you can see this kind of equation, just like x with no coefficient or the coefficient is just 1. So if this is 8 minus x, automatically the inverse of that will be x plus 8. Just like our example on number 1. So we have here x plus 5 and automatically our inverse is x minus 5. Okay, so let's continue with number 4. F of x equals 6x. So all we have to do is change that to y equals 6x. Then we have to divide both sides by, we have to change first y into x and we'll have 6y. In order to make this term having on the right side, so divide both sides by 6, and so we have y equals x over 6. So f inverse of x equals x over 6. Okay, so that's easy. Number 5, we have f of x equals 2x plus 4. So step 1, change f of x into y. Step 2, interchange x and y, so that becomes x equals 2y plus 4. Then solve it in terms of y. So 2y equals 4 will transfer here on the left side of your equal sign. So we have x minus 4 equals 2y. And since we have 2 here, divide both sides by 2. And so our y is equal to x minus 4 over 2. So our f inverse of x equals x minus 4 over 2. That will be the answer for number 5. Let's continue with number 6. So number 6 is a rational function, and so it may be a little bit complicated, but I hope I can help you. So first step is to change that into y equals 5x over x minus 3. Then interchange your x and y. So we have x equals 5y all over y minus 3. Then, since we have to solve for y in terms of x, we have to multiply both sides with y minus 3. So our goal here is to eliminate the denominator. So to eliminate the denominator is to multiply both sides with what is written here on the denominator. So on this case, if we multiply them, we can cancel this. Okay? So after canceling that, we have y minus 3. Okay, so we can multiply this. We can have xy minus 3x equals 5y. Then, we have to transfer your negative 3x to the right and your 5y to the left. So, we'll have xy minus 5y because 5y will be written here on the left side of our equal sign. And also, since your negative 3x will be written on the right side of equal sign, it becomes positive 3x. Then, all we have to do here is to factor this out. Okay, so we have y multiplied by x minus 5 equals 3x. Notice that we have our factors y. So y times x, that becomes xy. And y times negative 5, that becomes negative 5y. So xy minus 5y. So it's still correct. And so in order to make this having y on the left side, we have to divide both sides by x minus 5. Our concept here is every time that we have a multiplier for y, we have to divide the partner with the same quantity so that what is left here on the left side of our equation will be y only. So we cancel this. The inverse will be y equals 3x all over x minus 5. And so our final answer will be f inverse of x equals 3x over x minus 5. Okay, so that's it. Let's continue with another example. F of x equals 5x. So step 1, write that y equals 5 over x. Next is interchange. X equals 5 over y. Then multiply both sides with y to cancel y in our denominator. So we have xy equals 5. And so to solve for y in terms of x, we have to divide both sides with x. So we have y equals 5 over x. Final answer, f inverse of x is the same as 5 over x. Okay, so that's it. Let's continue with number 7 example. I think that was number 6, number 7. Sorry for that numbering. Okay, so we have y equals x plus 1 all over 4x. And to interchange that, we can have x equals y plus 1 over 4y. So multiply both sides with 4y. Then we get 4xy equals y plus 1. Then you have to move y on the left side. We'll have 4xy minus y equals negative 1. Then factor out in terms of y. So y times 4x minus 1 equals negative 1. And so divide both sides with 4x minus 1. So we can cancel this, and our final answer will be y equals negative 1 all over 4x minus 1. And since we have negative 1 here, if you want to make this positive, we can express that as y equals positive 1 all over. Of course, this will become negative, diba? So we'll multiply this with negative 1. And so negative 1 here. So that becomes positive 1. And so negative 1 times 4x is negative 4x. So I think we should write minus 4x here. And negative 1 times negative 1, that's positive 1. Okay, just to make our answer in a standard form, or I think in a manner where we can understand it more, so we can write it as y equals 1 all over 1 minus 4x. So our final answer will be f inverse of x equals 1 all over 1 minus 4x. This will be the inverse of the function given on number 7. Let's continue with number 8, x minus 2 all over 4. So same thing, y equals x minus 2 all over 4. Then interchange them. We have x equals y minus 2 all over 4. Then multiply both sides with 4 in order to eliminate the denominator. And so we have 4x equals y minus 2. All we have to do is transfer 2 on the left side. So we have 4x plus 2 equals y. This will be our final function because we don't have to divide anything from there because we already have 1y here. So f minus 1, f inverse of x is equal to 4x plus 2. This will be the answer or for the inverse of the function on number 8. Let's continue with number 9. So same thing, step 1, rewrite it. And step 2 is to interchange x and y. Then all we have to do is to eliminate the denominator first. So we have 2y plus 3 on the left, on the right rather, and 2y plus 3 on the left. Then we can cancel this. We get 2xy plus 3x equals y minus 5. Then all we have to do is transfer y on the left and transfer 3x on the right. So we have 2xy minus y equals negative 3x minus 5. Then factor this out. We can have y times 2x minus 1 equals negative 3x minus 5. Then we can have divide both sides with 2x minus 1 in order to eliminate that factor. Okay, so we have y equals negative 3x minus 5 all over 2x minus 1. Or you can rewrite that as y equals 3x plus 5 all over 1 minus 2x. We can also write that form. So we have f inverse of x equals 3x plus 5 all over 1 minus 2x. Okay, that's it. And for the last example, number 10. Okay, we have y equals square root of 2x minus 3. Then we have x equals square root of 2y minus 3. What will happen if we see square root here? In order to eliminate the square root sign, all we have to do is square both sides of the equation. So what will happen? We'll have x squared equals 2y minus 3. Then all we have to do is to transfer 3 on the left. So we have x squared plus 3 equals 2y. Then divide both sides by 2. And so our y is equal to x squared plus 3 all over 2. So our f inverse of x will be x squared plus 3 all over 2. So that's just easy. It's really easy to find the inverse of a function. And to you, my students, I hope that it will also be easy for you to answer the exercises that are found in your math packs. So we are done with quarter 1, week 4B. Thank you and God bless you. For those who are new to my channel, just subscribe to my channel, click subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated of my latest videos. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned a lot from me.